Warm-ups taking place here at the Ice Sports Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Hello, everybody. I'm Jacob Murphy, and you're listening to Slapstick Hockey here on YouTube, brought to you by Underhill Media. If you have any needs for legal, sports, real estate, or wedding videos, Underhill Media is the place to go. It's the Bandits and Really Swift in Game 2 of the round robin of the Breakaway Hockey Tournament here in Huntsville. Really Swift lost their opening game last night, 4-2 against the Shower Dogs. And the Bandits took care of business against a team from Atlanta, 8-0. Will be interesting here. 11:45 a.m. puck drop, as Zach Story was tested 42 times last night, made 38 saves. The goaltender, I believe he's out of Illinois, we're just going to run with it, will be counted on desperately this morning. Top player for Really Swift. Watch out there for Thomas McGinnis, former Reaper and Kraken. He'll be wearing 15, and he'll be called on to serve heavy minutes to shut down the blue line against what is a very potent Bandits offense. Well, that is the end of warm-ups here as we get ready to go in this contest between Really Swift and your Bandits here on the Slapstick Sports Network via YouTube. Once again, I'm Jacob Murphy here in the booth. Should be a great game this afternoon. Maybe a little bit of fireworks between these teams, as there are rivalries abound. Micah Zimmerman there, number 33. Look for him to have a good game today. Carson Ratzlaff almost called out sick this game after his nasty hangover from yesterday. But we expect him to be a difference maker on the ice. Top line yesterday for the Bandits was Dermer, Harbor, and Rent Pele. And we'll see if they get the start here on the top line in the morning game. Both of these teams are quote-unquote in the beginner league, but we may feel that some shouldn't be in this league. I think that is the notion going into this one, with Jacob Baxter leading the team in goals with 5 headed into this game. Bradley Spangler at center, Patrick Dermer at center for the Bandits, and we are live here from Huntsville. Spangler wins the opening draw, and a good clear out by Brian Maples from his own end. It's picked up here by Baxter. Jacob Baxter wheels behind his own net, watched by McGinnis. Baxter, backhand sauce, finds Rent Pele, touched along for Dermer. Dermer squeezes by into the zone. Now the puck's bouncing around and cleared out smartly there by Cameron Thompson. Held in left point, now left circle Harbor. Harbor backhands, wheels it for Pele, out in front for Harbor, and he scores! Nate Harbor gets it going early. My goodness. First shift, first goal for the Bandits as Rent Pele out in front to Nate Harbor. And it's an early 1-0 lead here for the Bandits. First shot, first goal, as Harbor with an absolute laser into the back of the net. Dermer once again against Spangler. Won by Spangler. Back into the skates there of Heather Ritter, and cleared out of the zone by Dennis Booth. Now it's picked up and played along for Baxter, as Jacob Baxter finds his defensive partner, Tom Hamilton. Hamilton gets roughed up there by a Swiftie, and they got it going the other way. Here comes a 2-on-1. It's Spangler. Spangler has McGinnis. Spangler for McGinnis. Back out for Spangler, and just one too many passes there, as McGinnis probably should have decided to pull the trigger. Now it's Dermer down the right wing. Dermer picks up the puck, working against Stephanie. Stephanie, great defense. Actually, excuse me, that's Heather Ritter. Great defense by her. Rent Pele gets tied up by McGinnis. Held in right point, Hunsaker. Now it's Dan Yost. Yost fires, and a good stop out by Zach Story. Yost keeps it right point. Watched by McGinnis. It's chipped out. Spangler first on the puck. Finds McGinnis. Here comes McGinnis, left circle. Back for Spangler, one-timer, and a save by John Ashley. Good opportunity, though, for Really Swift. Up and down action. Here's Andy Hall now dancing through left circle. Hall wheeling, has a man out in front. It was Tylan, and it's cleared out by Dennis Booth. John Ashley tested early in this one, but came up with a big save. Watch out for Spangler and McGinnis together. Now it's Carson Ratzlaff sporting Sidney Crosby's number. Quite the heresy. Plays it over for Tylan Thiessen. Thiessen, right circle, fires just wide of the net. Maybe Starry got a piece of it. Looking to clear it, it's Kate Hughes. No relation to Jack and Quinn. And now it's Andy Hall. Hall, right side, Ratzlaff. Oh my goodness, what a save by Starry! Zach Starry, ring 10 bells for that one. Puck kept in here by Andy Hall. He gets run into by Maples. Now it's Tylan Thiessen. Thiessen out in front, dragging, he scores! Well, Starry made an absolute dandy of a save just 30 seconds before. And then Thiessen tucks it in, makes it 2-0. With 10 minutes, 18 seconds here left in the first period. Bandits up 2-0 off the Tylan Thiessen goal. Good action. I'll tell you what, Really Swift is playing a solid game. Despite the difference in rosters, they're coming out here and playing hard. Would you expect anything different from them, though? As the Bandits win the draw, now it's Baxter, watched by Chihaki, and he'll sauce it forward. Garrett Newman gives chase, knocked away there by Dennis Booth. Now offsides being rang out through the packed arena here, and Huntsville, and now it's Chihaki. Plays for the Bandits C team with Mark Hodges. Nice backhand pass by Chihaki, picked off by Hamilton. Held in left point by Really Swift. Playing it out in front was Cameron Thompson, the son of Daniel Thompson, as he's looked solid here thus far. Baxter can't chip it out. It's gloved down there smartly by Kate Hughes. Now Hughes dumps it back in. Chihaki gives chase here on the near side boards, but it's cleared out by Newman. O'Rear can't get it out. Zimmerman's shot kicked out in front by Hamilton. Now here comes Newman through the neutral zone. Garrett Newman, captain of the Snowmen, working. Newman trying to slam the brakes, and he sends a stick flying there. That was Cameron Thompson's. Left point, Hamilton fires, and it goes just wide. Tom Hamilton normally plays goalie, but today he's out on defense. Looking for Rob Byron, can't find him. Chipped back in by Baxter. 8 minutes, 55 seconds here in the first period. As the Bandits up 2-0. Puck is bouncing around. Now Kate Hughes will go back and collect, and will be held in by Hamilton. Shot on just wide. Back there now, it's Cameron Thompson. And Thompson looks to get past Newman. Thompson works it through to Chihaki. And then Chihaki back to Thompson. Rob Byron's there, though, to break it up for the Bandits. And Baxter sauces one right off Newman. Now Newman working against Chihaki, gains his own right wing. Newman fires, and a good save there by Zach Starry. No rebound given up. I'll tell you what, Zach Starry's looking really solid thus far with 8 minutes, 17 seconds here left in the first period. Once again, you're listening to Slapstick Hockey Television here on YouTube, brought to you by Underhill Media. And I'm Jacob Murphy here on the call for you this morning. 11:45, puck drop, and the second round-robin game for both teams. Meanwhile, Pelly right side, he puts it wide. He had the entire cage open, and normally you see Ren Pelly execute. Now left circle, Harbor out in front. Hunsaker fires, bit of a collision there as he runs into Aaron Chihaki. And Dennis is down. Those are two big men there running into each other as Hunsaker tried to get off the one-timer. A little bit slow to his feet. But Chihaki's saying you got to earn every inch of ice out there. Hunsaker back on his feet. And he's staying out on the ice. Pretty good size on this Bandits roster. I think average height 6'1". Captain of the team, Nate Harbor, made sure to get good size here for this tournament. Dermer here on the draw. One back by Chihaki over to Ritter. And Really Swift will clear it out. That was Mr. Booth. Speeding onto that is Aaron Chihaki, though, picked up by Dan Yost. Yost, the defenseman, wheeling in his own end. Past Jeffries and up to Dermer. 2-on-1 breaking out here. Dermer has Harbor. Can't find him. Good defense there by Booth. Now Dermer tied up there in the corner. Harbor steps in, fires, saved by Story, stops the rebound, it's loose, and they can't put it home. Zach Story once again with a dandy of a save. Out and now left point. It's Tom Hamilton chipping it along right circle for Harbor. He lets it through. Ren Pelle's there, though, to pick it up. Down below the goal line. Pelle, one-timer, just wide as Hamilton let it go. Stephanie now, great catch and pass by the captain, and she'll play it forward, and it's dumped in. Icing is waved off as Yost goes back to pick it up. He'll butt and hook in his own end. Dan Yost with options, fans on it, and then he'll chip it forward into the skates there of Tom Hamilton. And now it's Hamilton working down right wing. Hamilton has Ren Pelle as an option. He'll decide to shoot, saved by Story. Now it's Daniel Thompson chipping it out. And Aaron Chihaki looking to pick it up, but no, it's Jacob Baxter instead. Baxter from the red line firing, and you're not going to beat Story from out there. As now Story thinking about it, and will decide to cover with 6 minutes, 18 seconds here left in the first period. Bandits out shooting Really Swift 7-1, and the score currently 2-0. As the top line's back out there for Really Swift with McGinnis and Spangler. Face-off won by Thiessen. Backhander just wide. Behind the goal line, it's Ratzlaff. His pass picked off by McGinnis. McGinnis working with Thompson. He'll find him here down the left wing. Thompson working against Hunsaker. And the puck is pried free. And now it's picked off by McGinnis. McGinnis out in front for Thompson. It's in his skates. But a good pass there. Held in left point. Good play there by Cameron Thompson. Now it's McGinnis. Left circle. Thomas McGinnis fires. He runs into Tylen Thiessen. And the shot is blocked out in front, and Baxter goes behind his own net to collect and get regrouped. Baxter just throws the puck away. Ill-advised. And now out to get it is Mr. Story. Thiessen gets the turnover. Out in front. Ratzlaff can't pull the trigger. And Spangler with a good outlet pass down the right wing to Thompson. Plays it into the skates of McGinnis. Here comes Thomas McGinnis. Left wing drop pass for Spangler. And it's picked off by Thiessen. Here in the near side boards, Ratzlaff battling for it. And his pass is picked off neutral zone by Micah Zimmerman. Zimmerman now waiting, dancing, down low. And he couldn't find McGinnis. Puck still bouncing around there in the front. And it's finally cleared out by Thiessen. Couple good back-to-back shifts, though, for Really Swift. With 4 minutes, 50 seconds. Score still just 2-0 here at the Huntsville Ice Clinic. Back on it, McGinnis looking down low, couldn't hook up with Zimmerman. It's Dan Yost now with the puck, dancing past Spangler. Tried to find Dermer, and now it's Yost. Rob Byron holds the blue line. Yost down right circle. Yost still moving in, dances past another, and a pad save by Story. My goodness, Zach Story having himself a morning here. Incredible save there by the goaltender. Offensive zone draw to the left of Story. Newman wins it back to Yost. Right point. Yost to Byron. Byron fires, looking for a tip by Newman. It's knocked away by Ritter. Puck still bouncing around. O'Rear can't get a blade on it. And it's chipped out smartly by Dennis Booth. Now Baxter once again flies it in. Story's out of his net to go collect. Story looks to play it out. He finds Chihaki. And it's tied up there. Kate Hughes is dispossessed, but Heather Ritter stands strong against Dan Yost. Rob Byron chips it back for Baxter. And Baxter flies it in, glove down, and Zach Story goes to kick it. My goodness, he goes down out in front, and a save by Story. My goodness, Zach Story. What a hero. Holy jumping, folks. Absolutely incredible. Now touched along by Rob Byron to Nate Harbour. Down the left wing, Harbour got the goal scoring started here in the first period on the first shot of the game. But Zach Story's been the MVP since. Harbour drops it back for Hunsaker. Hunsaker winds, fires, left circle. Tom Hamilton, he gets a shot and he's stoned by Story. And then Hamilton chips it, and that'll go out of play with 3:05 here left in the first period. And Zach Story, man of the match thus far, with a couple dandy of saves. He had 38, I repeat, 38 saves last night in the first game against the Shower Dogs, and he's already got 8 here in the first period, and 3 or 4 of them absolute crowd stunners. Offensive zone draw to the right of Story now. Got a man down there. I believe that was Cameron Thompson, held in by Hamilton. Now to Harbour. Harbour left circle, fires, and a good save by Story. Ed Dermer out in front. Dermer picks up the puck now. Wheels it left circle, now left point Hamilton. Hamilton down low, it's chipping around. Dermer to Pele, and another save by Zach Story. As Pele gives him a little love on the head there. Got to have a ton of love and respect for the effort here by Zach Story in this game. By far the first star. Cool story here, folks. Zach Story actually made a save in a penalty shootout once against Jean-Guy Trudel, head coach of the Peoria Rivermen, who find themselves up 2-0 in the President's Cup final series against the Evansville Thunderbolts. Meanwhile, back the other way, Harbour gets dispossessed. That's knocked out of the zone there by Booth. And battling along the boards here, it's Stephanie Jeffrey and Dennis Hunsaker. As Dennis ladles it in and chipped out by Cameron Thompson. Down the length of the ice, couldn't find his dad, Daniel. And no icing called as Hamilton has to wheel it out. Now it's Harbour for Hunsaker. Hunsaker still in possession, chipped out by Brian Maples. Fresh off the bench, it's Andy Hall. Down the right wing, drop pass Ren Pell. Ren Pelle gets pinned here on the half wall, and it's cleared out. But Ren Pelle, so calm, cool, collected, right back on the puck. Now it's Dermer down the left wing. Has Hall, looks for him. Dermer gets rode off there by Thompson. Still on it. Dermer to Baxter. Center point. Baxter fires just wide. Rebound, and Hall can't put it home. And Hall gets roughed up into the boards there, my goodness, by Brian Maples. Hall off the foot of the referee, and it's Daniel Thompson chipping it out. Baxter now backhands it over to Dan Yost. As Yost now will motor his way through the neutral zone. Yost now waiting, decides to fire, and a big-time save there by Story. As Dan Yost may have hit that one 85 miles an hour on the slapper. But Zach Story, calm, cool, collected, easy save for him. 1 minute, 3 seconds here, first period. Bandits only leading 2-0, and that's thanks to the absolute heroics in net by Mr. Story. Face-off won by Thiessen, left point, Yost. Now Baxter, right point. Baxter watched by McGinnis. He'll chip it in, looking for Thiessen. Thiessen has Ratzlaff and O'Rear out front, but he's tied up there by Dennis Booth. And now it's McGinnis in his own end. Dances past Baxter, stretch pass for Spangler, just out of reach. Yost here in the neutral zone, collects and wheels in right wing. Dan Yost now will fly it around, and Thiessen's first on the puck. Micah Zimmerman, watching him closely. Out in front for Ratzlaff, and my goodness, did Story get a piece of that one? Holy cow, Marty Brodeur pad stack. Zach Story doing it all. He's putting on a show for all you guys back here on YouTube. What a save once again by Zach Story. Ensuing draw, won by Spangler. And McGinnis collects in his own end. McInnes now will butt and hook and look to set up the offense. 15 seconds and counting here. Touched along, just out of reach as Zimmerman just wide. First on it, though, it's Micah Zimmerman. 8 seconds here. Now McInnes, back for Zimmerman. Touch along, McInnes, left circle, fires, and a save by Ashley. Good setup there between Zimmerman and McInnes. But John Ashley with a big-time save and no rebound given up. 2.3 seconds, Bandits 2, really Swift nothing. Outshooting them 12-3 in this contest thus far. Face-off one, and that'll be cleared out by Baxter, but through one period, Zach Story, 4 or 5 absolute out-of-this-world saves to start this game. Nate Harbor got the scoring started early on the first shot of the game, and then a little bit of a jam play out in front put the Bandits up 2-0, but since then, it's been the Zach Story show, folks. Well, entertaining first period here at the Huntsville Ice Sports Center. Between your Huntsville Bandits and the Huntsville Really Swift. It is the Breakaway Hockey Tournament Challenge, the Rocket City version. They have tournaments all over this summer. Places such as Lexington, Louisville, Huntsville, and more as Nate Harbor looks up to me. And he's been looking up to the sky a lot thanks to the excellent play by Zach Story in this game thus far. Second period underway. Face-off won by Newman. He'll collect it now in the neutral zone. Garrett Newman drops it back for Dan Yost. And now Yost will pick up a head of steam down the right wing. Here comes Yost dancing through. Dan Yost. One man to beat. It was Zach Story. Couldn't beat him. Yost still in possession. Out in front. And Newman can't pull the trigger. Chipped in by Rob Byron. And back the other way. It's Cameron Thompson now motoring through. And Thompson gets it in deep. Out to play it is John Ashley. Held in right side by Really Swift, but just momentarily. Now Harbor's stretch pass is out of reach. And Brian Maples goes back to collect. Maples wheels it, held in by Harbor. Nate Harbor behind the goal line working here. And he gets shoved off by Cameron Thompson. Held in Rob Byron out in front, and Newman got a piece of it, but he couldn't put it home. Now Hunsaker chips it in. Rob Byron's there to collect. Byron now working it. Back for Harbor, but it's picked off by Chahaki. And Really Swift's able to exit the zone. Jacob Baxter goes ahead, pulls out the sand wedge, and flies it in. First on the puck. It's Brian Maples. Great stretch pass to Chahaki. Chahaki can't work past Tom Hamilton. Held in, though, by Really Swift here on the left circle. And Hamilton will poke it away. Now Chahaki picks it up. Chahaki fires, and a save by John Ashley. Hamilton stretching it out for Ren Pele. Can't get it out. Held in Really Swift. Pele now looks to go pick it up. And Pele will dispossess him. And be calm, cool, collected. Good stretch pass to Dermer. Dermer now speeding in. Gets tied up. Harbor's there to pick up the puck. As down on the ice is Dennis Booth. Left circle, it's Ren Pele. To Harbor. Back for Pele. Great defense there by Booth. Held in left point by Baxter. Jacob Baxter now waiting. Chips it. Looking for Ren Pele. Now shot along by Hamilton, stepping up from the right point, just wide. Baxter holds it in, gets taken down hard there by Thompson, and the referee's arm goes up. As first penalty of the game here will be against Daniel Thompson. And a power play brought to you by Edward Jones is coming up Here, 10:35 second period, first power play of the game. As the Bandits leading this one 2-0. And out shooting really swift, 14-4. And they're looking to go up by 3. Here comes the power play. It's Dan Yost, right point. Yost fires! It goes in! Yost right through the 5-hole on the right side point. Beats Starry. And it's 3-0. So first power play goal. As that one was an absolute howitzer. Stayed about 1 foot off the ice. And straight through the 5-hole of Zach Starry. Not much he could do about it. And the Bandits lead 3-0 here in the second period. Meanwhile, it's McGinnis now playing it over. He was looking for Aaron Chahaki. Chahaki still battling, and he's dispossessed. Chipped out by Thiessen. And now Thiessen has it in his own zone. Stretch pass for Dan Yost on the right wing. Yost winds, fires, saved by Starry. As Zach Starry flashing the blocker there on that one. Hunsaker back in his own end, watched closely by Micah Zimmerman. He'll find Tylen Thiessen. And Thiessen's stretch pass is off kilter. It's McGinnis now in his own end to pick it up. Thomas McGinnis now into the skates of Carson Ratzlaff. And it's picked off. McGinnis right back on the puck though. And McGinnis now still with it, wheeling in his own end. McGinnis, look at the crafty skating by McGinnis as he slams the brakes. Plays it back over, looking for Maples. Andy Hall steps up, he'll go down on the near side boards. And he'll fire it back in for Thiessen. As Thiessen gets run into by Thompson, his pass out in front. Referee's arm goes up as another power play coming up here for your Bandits with 9:13 left here second period in a 3-0 contest. And McGinnis is in the box as the fans letting him know he is a goon. Power play opportunity for the Bandits. They are 1 for 1 thus far via the goal from Dan Yost. Really Swift looking to get it clear here. They'll wheel it around. Rob Byron can't hold it in, but it's held in right point by Baxter. Baxter watched by Chahaki, chips it in Byron. Out in front for a rear, but good defense there by Aaron Chahaki, and they'll clear it down the length of the ice. Baxter now winding up in his own end. Here comes Jacob Baxter, wheeling through on the power play with 1:25 still remaining as McGinnis is in the box. Out in front looking for Byron. Right point, Hamilton fires and a save by by Zach Starry. Chipped in. Rob Byron now. Byron looks to play it out in front, and that one will get recollected here by Tom Hamilton in the neutral zone. Now it's shot in by Baxter. Starry makes the save. Thompson can't get it out. Into the skates of Newman. Out in front looking for Byron. He can't pull the trigger. Rob Byron now plays it in deep. There to collect, it's Cameron Thompson. With 47 seconds here left in the McGinnis slashing call. And a smart clear by Chahaki. As Ashley's out of his own net to play it for Dan Yost. As Yost has Baxter stretching it out to him. Jacob Baxter working down the left wing. Waiting patiently for Rent Pelly, center point. Pelly, Baxter. Couldn't get a handle on it. Baxter looking to chip it out in front. He gets stopped though, momentarily back on it. Baxter for Pelly. And it goes wide. As John Ashley out of his net to touch it along. McGinnis will be out of the sin bin here in the next 10 seconds. Nate Harbor, though, working left wing. Harbor has Pelly. He'll use him. Off his tape. Pelly collects it. Right circle. Chips it in. Really Swift looking to get the clear here with Dennis Booth out of the box. And now it's Spangler. Spangler working in. Fires, and a good save there by Ashley. Whipped around there by Really Swift, and Patrick Dermer's there first to pick it up. Dermer Crafty move past Stephanie Jeffrey. Dermer plays it, nobody's there. First on it, it's Heather Ritter. And Ritter will wheel it around the boards looking for Steph. Held in right point, Yost. Yost chips it in for Dermer. Dermer has Harbor. He'll find him. Harbor, one-timer, saved by Starry. As Zach Starry kicked out the pad. Right point, Yost. Yost fires, saved by Starry. Once again, Yost, one-timer, and Starry gloves it down. Zach Starry, my goodness. Another dandy of a save. As Yost is absolutely laying into it. Over there with a few words, Cameron Thompson talking to Garrett Newman. Not sure what that was about. And that one's in the skates there as Thiessen tries to get it. Starry can't keep a handle on it. Thiessen out in front for Hall. And a diving play there by Thompson. Pure heart and effort. Well, folks, you could hear a pin drop here at this arena. But don't tell the boys on the ice. They're playing like it's Game 7 for Lord Stanley. Thiessen to take the draw on the offensive end, though. One back by Spangler. Now Thiessen back on it, left circle. Center point, Baxter. Baxter fires. Nice, easy save as he tried to get a tip out in front from Ratzlaff. And unable to do so. 6:02 left here, second period. Bandits leading 3-0, out shooting really swift, 21-5. Another draw here to the left of Zach Starry. Ratzlaff tries to chip it along. Spangler's first on it. Spangler looking for Daniel Thompson. Now back for Spangler, and they just couldn't collect it. It's Jacob Baxter now wheeling it. Baxter chipping it in. And that goes behind the net of Starry. First on it, though, is Dennis Booth. He'll wheel it around. Held in momentarily, but here comes Daniel Thompson. Opportunity. Daniel Thompson down the right wing. Out in front, they score! It's Thompson to McGinnis! And the fans love it! What a play! Excellent effort there as Daniel Thompson out in front to McGinnis. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a game here with 5:31 left in the second. Ensuing face-off, Kate Hughes wins it against Newman. Chipped back by Zimmerman. Newman's hot on the forecheck. Garrett Newman chips it along, looking for Ratzlaff. Carson Ratzlaff picks it up near the goal line along the half boards. Ratzlaff looks to play it out in front, but there was Thompson. Chipped along now, Zimmerman trying to get it past Hunsaker. He's able to do so, but held in at the blue line by Hunsaker. Into the skates of Ratzlaff. Ratzlaff tries to dance by Kate Hughes. He'll dump it in instead. Now it's Newman first on the puck, working against Booth. Ratzlaff right circle. Ratzlaff waiting, working against McGinnis. His pass picked off by Zimmerman, and really Swift will get the escape here. As now it's Micah Zimmerman working down right wing against Yost. He'll fly it in. First on it is McGinnis out in front for Hughes. And Kate Hughes was right there at the right spot, but couldn't put it home. Rob Byron now able to get the clear. It's picked up by Ritter, and she'll finesse it forward. McGinnis, lone goal for really Swift here in this game. He scored yesterday as well against the Shower Dogs. And Yost working against Zimmerman. He'll work past him. Yost picks up a head of steam down the left wing. Here comes Dan Yost. On the backhand, he puts it wide of Starry's left side post. Held in by Newman. Shot on, good save by Starry. As Rob Byron gets worked a little bit by Heather Ritter. Now it's Nate Harbor chipping it in. And cleared out by Kate Hughes. As back in his own end, it's Dennis Hunsaker to pick up and collect. And what must be a pretty shocked Bandits bench right now. Only up by 2. Kate Hughes gets dispossessed by Harbor. Back the other way, it's Rob Byron. Backhands it to Dermer. Dermer had Harbor on the entry. Now he finds him left wing. Nate Harbor fires just over the blocker side of Starry. Right point, Baxter. Baxter lets it go. Saved by Starry. Once again, Zach Starry stealing the show. As it'll be an offensive zone draw here between Dermer and Chahaki. One back by the Bandits. Right point, it's Baxter. Chipping it for Ren Pele. Pele, Harbor one-timer, saved by Starry. Held in left point. Hamilton, Baxter, fires, he scores! Jacob Baxter, top shelf, where Mama hides the cookies. And it's 4-1, Bandits. As that was just pure pressure by the Bandits. And then Baxter goes top shelf on Starry. On the ensuing faceoff, with 3:05 here left in the second period, it's Yost chipping it out. Looking for Dermer. He'll go just wide. Starry out of his own net, swinging around the boards. Held in right point by Pele. He'll chip it in. First on it is Thompson for Really Swift. Thompson looking to play it in. He's back on it. And they can't get the clear yet as Hunsaker steps up here at the blue line. Now it's Dermer. Dermer working in, blocked out in front. Great play there by Dennis Booth. Now it's Dan Yost. And Yost working through. Yost through the neutral zone, gains the blue line. Tries to dance past another one. That goes off his tape. He's back on it first, though. Yost out in front, had Harbor. And he couldn't score. Now it's Yost turning, fires, saved by Starry. As Zach Starry has had Dan Yost's number thus far. Back in his own end, looking to get the clear. It's Dennis Booth, held in by Hunsaker. Hunsaker playing it in down low, fresh off the bench. It's Andy Hall, and he looks to get something started. Tylen Thiessen can't keep it in. Thiessen, good dance move there, and he'll gain the blue line left wing. Thiessen now working left circle against Thompson. Has an option. It's Ren Pele out in front. Couldn't find him. Now it gets to the skate of Pele. And he'll calm, cool, collectively pick it up. One-timer by Hall. He fans on it. Andy Hall dumps it in. Dennis Hunsaker now with 1 minute, 40 seconds left. Chahaki has it go into him. He can't clear it. Right point, one-timer, shot on, and it's knocked out in front. As back on it is Tom Hamilton taking a whack or two, but that doesn't affect him. Ren Pele, Bandits legend, chips it in for Tylen Thiessen. Thiessen blocked out in front. Good defensive play there by Thompson. They have numbers the other way. It's now Daniel Thompson. Down the right wing, it's Daniel Thompson working in, and a good stick play by Tom Hamilton on the defensive end. And Spangler will speed and go back to pick up the puck. Bradley Spangler's got good speed, and he's showcasing it here. Spangler works past Andy Hall, and he'll gain down the left wing. Spangler working it in. Spangler for Thompson. Thompson has Stephanie out in front of the net. Can he find her? Tries to wheel one out in front, knocked away by Yost. Held in left point by Heather Ritter, but momentarily, now it's Ratzlaff the other way. He has numbers. Ratzlaff down the right side, and he flubs the shot, saved by Starry. 33 seconds here in the second period as Spangler's clearing attempt goes off the official. Now Andy Hall can't hold it in. Daniel Thompson unable to get it out. Out in front into the skates of Ratzlaff just wide. Spangler collects and will backhand chip it out for Thompson. Working against Baxter at the end of a long shift. Thompson decides just to dump it in. Picked up by Baxter. Looking for Ratzlaff. Now it's Andy Hall. 5 seconds and counting. Hall down the right wing. Here comes Andy Hall. One-timer, Thiessen, and a save by Starry at the buzzer. Well, folks, through 2 periods here, the score, the Bandits 4, Really Swift 1. Zach Starry 20 saves off 24 shots. And the lone goal by Thomas McGinnis has his team sniffing an upset. But they'll need some magic here in the third period. But I'll tell you what, I'm impressed by the way Really Swift has played. They've really come out. They're playing hard. against a team that I think it's easy to say is definitely a little bit better than them skill-wise. As Nate Harbor, the captain, with a little bit of finagling of the rosters to make sure his team has the competitive edge here in this game. Well, through 2 periods here, the score, Bandits 4, Really Swift 1. Dan Yost got a goal on the power play. Harbor has scored, and Baxter has scored. And I'm not sure who scored the 4th goal, but I know Thomas McGinnis scored the lone goal for Really Swift as we are here, final period, 3rd period action here on Slapstick YouTube, brought to you by Underhill Media. Once again, Underhill Media, any sports, legal, weddings, or real estate needs you need video-wise, give a call to Mr. Nate Harbor, the founder of Underhill Media. Early on in the 3rd period, McGinnis is working here. Got tied up by Garrett Newman. Now it's Thompson the other way. He'll chip it in. Dan Yost, though, picks it off. Yost working it down the right wing, has Newman out in front. Yost wheels out in front for Newman. And he couldn't pull the triggers. Good defense there by Micah Zimmerman to get Newman tied up. 12:30 here, 3rd period. And the Bandits lead by 3. As it's Kate Hughes on the draw for Really Swift. She'll win it over here right side, but it's Dan Yost first to pick it up. Yost fires, that hits off the skate of Newman. Newman looks to play it out in front, but look at Zach Starry craftily puts the glove back there and makes the save. 12:20, 3rd period. Newman on the draw. Tied up with Kate Hughes. Fired in by Rob Byron. Puck there behind the net, and Starry will smartly come out. As Dan Yost getting a little bit of a razzle-dazzle there by some of the fans saying, hey, I see you posting goals on Facebook. Why isn't it happening here in real life? Maybe it was AI. Newman, offensive zone draw, wins it to himself. Garrett Newman first on the puck. Out in front, it's Kyle O'Rear, and he scores! Kyle O'Rear, loved by everybody, and he was Johnny on the spot right out in front. And it's 5-1 Bandits. Well, Kyle O'Rear's a guy that he works hard, he plays the game the right way. You love to see a guy like him putting the puck in the back of the net, and it's all the hard work there by Newman. Meanwhile, Harbor right off the draw. Here comes Nate Harbor moving it, saved by Starry. First on it, it's Ren Pele. Pele chips it in. And can't get it out just yet. Wheeled around there by Booth. Held in right point Baxter. Baxter chips it along. First on the puck is Dennis Booth. It's bouncing out in front. Now it's Chahaki. Chahaki plays it along. Harbor's there. And it's knocked out by his father, Aaron Chahaki. Fired right back in by Baxter. First to the puck here in the left circle is Nate Harbor. Harbor has options. He'll wheel it himself. Nate Harbor still on the puck. Dumps it for Baxter. Baxter chipping it. Harbor right circle. Harbor fires, and a save by Starry. Zach Starry took that one right off the chest and then flashed the leather to make that save. Well done by him. It's his 23rd save of this matinee contest. Face off, back to Ren Pele. Pele to Baxter, and that escapes the zone, and we'll get the jeers of the fans here in the upstairs pavilion watching this one at the beer tower. Kept in by Hamilton. Now Harbor wheeling it down low for Dermer. Dermer picks up the puck behind the goal line. Working left circle. Dermer looking back for Harbor. Saved by Starr, and he saves the rebound. Harbor once again rings it off the iron. Now it's Pele, right point. Pele. Baxter. Pele. Ren Pele to Tom Hamilton off his tape. Hamilton now. Out in front, Pele fires, and it's knocked away as Chahaki knocks him down. Good play there by the big, wily defenseman. And that one shot down the length of the ice for an icing with 10:18 here left in the third. And the Bandits leading this one 5-1. It's been a good contest, though, between these two teams. Andy Hall back out there to get some action, as Hall missed game one, but he's here for game two. And it's Thiessen, Ratzlaff, and Andy Hall out there against Spangler, Maples, and Jeffrey, with Zimmerman and Thompson on defense. Face-off won by Spangler. First on it is Andy Hall. Hall picks up the puck behind the goal line. For Thiessen out in front, Ratzlaff, and a save by Starry. Zach Starry's 25th save of this game. Once again, right out in front on Ratzlaff. Now it's right point, Dan Yost. Yost winds, looking for a tip. And Thiessen got a piece of it, put it just wide. Andy Hall now picks up the puck. He'll stop, left circle, play behind the net for Thiessen. Thiessen and Hall, two Reapers, play pitch and catch. Hall fires. Was looking for a slap pass, goes wide. Now it's Stephanie Jeffries. Stephanie with the puck. Turned over there in the neutral zone, down the wing. Dan Yost now goes and collects. Yost has options, watched by Spangler, finds Ratzlaff. Now it's Hall, left wing. Andy Hall has Thiessen out in front, and he'll work it around the net. Yost goes to pick it up here with 9 minutes, 25 seconds left in the third. Yost down low out in front. Ratzlaff couldn't pull the trigger. There to pick it up is Thompson. He gets forechecked by Thiessen. And now Thiessen, one-timer, Hall goes wide. Thiessen behind the net, working against Thompson. Thiessen looking for Yost, and a good active stick there by Steph. Yost holds it center point. Now he dances through another one. Here comes Dan Yost. One-on-one, and Starry shuts the door. Now Hunsaker plays it in for Hall. And looking to get the clear, it's Brian Maples. Maples held in by Yost. Yost tipped out in front as Thiessen got knocked down to the ice by Maples. Back the other way into the skates of Zimmerman. And he's unable to collect it. Hunsaker is there. Now it's Dan Yost. He'll fire it wide, and icing will be called. 8:23 here left in the third, with the Bandits still leading this one 5-1. Ensuing offensive zone draw, won by Garrett Newman. And held in. Here comes McGinnis, left circle. McGinnis fires, and a save by Ashley on the glove. McGinnis holds it, right point. Kept in, shot on, tipped away out in front as Booth got good wood on that. Now it's Rob Byron getting it out, but McGinnis almost had his second of the game. And Newman playing pitch and catch here, and it's chipped out by Booth. Now Tom Hamilton was looking far side for Rob Byron. It's McGinnis, though, working at left wing. McGinnis fires, and a great save by John Ashley. No rebound given up. 7:42 left here, third period. As really Swift, they're putting up a fight. Still down by 4, though. 7:42 left here in the third. Face-off won by really Swift. And Garrett Newman, good effort there. He'll get the puck out. Heather Ritter goes back to retreat. Ritter past O'Rear, and a little bit of a flyby there. Now it's Tom Hamilton chipping it along for Rob Byron. And now here comes Newman. Garrett Newman moving on in, and a save by Starry. Out in front, Rob Byron, and another kick save by Starry. Hamilton holds it in, winds, fires, tipped out in front, and who else but Zach Starry flashing the leather by the tip play out in front by Rob Byron. As Starry windmills it into his glove. Zach Starry's going to need an ice bath, a massage, a sauna, and a lot of extracurricular activities after this game to rest up. Face off, one here, and it's chipped out by Thompson, held in Pele. Now Harbor. Nate Harbor fires, and another good save there by Starry. As downstairs we got Sina Hansen getting ready for her game. 6 minutes, 52 seconds as Starry picks up his 29th save of the game. And looking to get the clear there. It's Maples, can't get it out, held in Hunsaker. Now it's Harbor working against Chahaki. Chahaki ties him up. Harbor looking to win it back. Chahaki down to the skates of Dermer. Dermer holds the blue line as Thompson, though, was speeding in. Now Daniel Thompson may have had a chance down the right wing, but it's Jacob Baxter to the rescue. Baxter stretch pass for Harbor. Harbor has options. Harbor working right wing, fires, blockered away by Starry. Dermer back on the puck. He'll toe drag it behind the net. Dermer working against Thompson. Good body there by Thompson to work it off. Baxter fires, goes just wide. Now it's Thompson in possession. Picked off neutral zone by Baxter and chipped in. Now the son of Daniel with the puck. It's Cameron playing it forward. Dennis with the interception. Now it's Chahaki down the left wing. Has Spangler. He'll go far side for Daniel Thompson. Right circle. Thompson fires just wide of the net as he tried to beat John Ashley blocker side. Good forecheck, though, by Really Swift. They have a man out in front, and Thompson couldn't pull the trigger. He was wide open back door. Spangler, his shot blocked out in front. He'll hit it off Dennis again. Thompson out in front, can't fire it. It's Ren Pele now with it. Pele chipping it along for Harbor. Nice little touch along for Dermer. 2-on-1 the other way. Dermer waits, shot, he scores! Dermer picks his spot, and it's 6-1 Bandits. .5:15 left here in the third, and they are going to run the clock for the rest of the game. No more stop clock as the Bandits with a 5-goal lead. Zach Starry, though, 30 saves in the afternoon. He's my first star of the game, easily by far. Now it's Thiessen. Thiessen working against Ritter. Good stick there by Ritter. Thiessen with it. Has Hall. It's Hunsaker instead, though. Hunsaker, one-timer, blocked out in front by Spangler. Now it's Zimmerman. Chipping it for Spangler. Spangler looking for Jeffrey. Out of reach. Now it's Dan Yost circling the wagons in the neutral zone. Dan Yost stick checked by Spangler, still in possession. Yost out in front, sticked away by Starry. And Heather Ritter will wheel it around the boards. Held in by Ratzlaff. Ratzlaff working against Booth. And then he'll play it far side. Andy Hall's first on it, though, for the Bandits, left circle. Andy Hall waiting to Hunsaker. And Dennis fires it in for Thiessen behind the goal line. Thiessen has Ratzlaff out in front. Instead, he'll go to Hall. Hall fans on the shot. And Zimmerman will chip it out. Now it's Yost firing it in, and a skate save there by Starry. Count that as his 31st save of this matinee game. Now it's Tylen Thiessen for Yost. Fired out in front. Hall's there. And a good save by Starry. Clock continues to wind here in the third period as the Bandits won their first game last night 8-0. And will cruise to victory here with a 5-goal lead in the final frame. Third and final game of the round robin for the Bandits will be at 5 p.m. this evening. And a win will send them on to the championship round tomorrow. Rob Byron now wheeling it, looking for Newman. And it's picked off, though, as Really Swift's able to get the puck momentarily, though. Now it's Newman trying to dance by. Good play, though, by Booth. And it's chipped in by Byron. Ritter's first on the puck behind her own net. She'll try to wheel it around. Kylo O'Rear was there, though, as he made a big-time goal earlier in this game. Now McGinnis, though, will pick up some speed. Shot out of a cannon. It's Thomas McGinnis down the left wing. McGinnis working, and he gets tied up by Yost. Dan Yost now going coast to coast the other way. Dan Yost working in. Shot on, blocked out in front. Yost back on the puck first. Looking for options. It's Rob Byron, and it's a save by Story, and on the backhand, it's Garrett Newman out in front. And it's 7-1. Decatur hockey boy Garrett Newman with the backhand goal. Garrett's always right place, right time. Camped out in front of the net. It's another guy like O'Rear. Plays the game the right way, Mr. Newman. It's the 40th shot of this game, and it's the 7th goal. As now it's Daniel Thompson. Thompson, left wing. Fires, blocked out in front by Baxter. Thompson first to pick it up. Tries to wheel it out in front. Baxter's there. Held in Chihaki, left circle. Chihaki looking for Hughes. And now there to pick it up first was Hamilton, as Hamilton got laid out. Here comes Harbor the other way. Harbor, 2-on-1 with Dermer. And they're off sides. Dermer recollects it. Pele, Harbor. Out in front for Dermer, and they can't hook up. Dermer left circle. Looking for Baxter. He's off radar. 60 final seconds here of the third period. Once again, I'm Jacob Murphy here calling the game for Slapstick Hockey on YouTube, brought to you by Underhill Media. As Harbor fires it in. And on the puck, and a big collision there in their own end as this game continues to wind down. Looking to get the puck out, it's Kate Hughes in her own end. And Hughes is picked off by Hunsaker. Clock continues to wind as Hunsaker working against Zimmerman. Harbor picks it up. Harbor has Dermer. He'll find him. Dermer. Wind shots just wide. And that'll rim all the way out of the zone. And Starry's out to play it. He'll find. And meanwhile, look at that. I think Kate Hughes was about to get in a tussle. And she's all in the referee's face. Holy jumping, folks. Kate Hughes, something got under her grill right there at the end of the game. Not sure what it was, but she was irate. And I thought the referee was going to have to, about to take one, as right off the ice is Brian Maples. No handshake line for him. And here we go, we got a goalie fight. It's Starry and Ashley and a little rock, paper, scissors there at center ice. And Starry wins. A kiss of victory from Zach Starry. And that'll do it here from the Huntsville Ice Sports Complex as the Bandits take this one 7-1 against Really Swift. It was a great game, though. Zach Story, easily the first star of the game, played fantastic. 33 saves in this matinee contest for him. And some of them were just absolute dandies, stacking the pads, flashing the leather. He did it all tonight. And he is, by far, the first star of the game. I don't think anybody deserves a second or third star, just because how well Starry played. That was a good effort by Really Swift. Obviously, the skill gap, a little bit much here, but I'll tell you what, they played with heart, they played with effort, and I'm proud of the way they played. I was very excited when Mr. McGinnis put the puck in the back of the net, but they played every shift. They played hard, and, we love to see the guys after the fact showing some love for each other. So, from the Huntsville Ice Sports Complex, this game goes final. The score, 7-1. I'm Jacob Murphy once again here, working with the Slapstick Hockey radio broadcast team. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be back for more action this afternoon.